local executive opened his heart about the time he spent in group therapy writing a play entitled 7 Ways to Get There. Now his written words are on stage for all to see in a production at ACT Theater. Joining us now are Dwayne Clark, the playwright and CEO of Aegis Living, and Steve McLean from Sound Mental Health, a nonprofit organization benefiting from the ticket sales. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, Dwayne, you're sharing something very personal out there on stage, right? It's based on your own experiences.
Yeah, my friends tell me I'm crazy for doing that, but yeah, it was a very personal story that happened to me about 17 years ago. A counselor said, I think it'd be a great idea if you join a men's group, and I said, oh, do I really have to do that? And I did, and it turned out being one of the most profound experiences of my entire life.
Why is it so difficult to get men to open up, especially, in the way that you show in 7 Ways to Get There?
That's a very good question. A lot of women have asked me that after seeing the play, because I think it has a really profound experience that in society sometimes we feel like we have to project a certain way of aura, of being macho and not letting ourselves open up and so on. And I think what the play does is give you permission to do that and kind of let your hair down and be who you are. And as a CEO, what I wanted to do is model that for the community. And there's a lot of parts of the play where I'm being made fun of and stuff. And I think it's important that we look at it and say we can all laugh at ourselves, no matter what you do in life.
I guess also it's important to be vulnerable for your art. Right? Yeah. In order to make it true, to ring true, you have to put yourself out there a little bit.
I think so, and I think it's interesting, friends have asked me, why in the world would you want to put your life on stage like this and share some of those most personal moments? But I think one of the things that's important is that I found, through this play and the experience of group therapy, that I've learned more about myself through people that I would probably not normally associate with or being with, and that's what the group therapy did. And sometimes what we like least about ourselves is things that scare us about other people. So there's a real learning process that goes on too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, so when you saw your words first come to life with actors,
right,
working out the play, it must be kind of a mind-blowing experience.
You're a little terrified, yes. Yeah, you're seeing your life on stage, and you're like, was this really a good idea? Should I really have done this? And I think the most heartwarming part of this experience has been the emails that I've gotten from people saying, I had the best conversation I've ever had with my husband in 20 years after seeing your play. That they've shared a part of their self, they've opened up to me about things that they probably would have never opened up about had we not seen the play. So, and the play is hilarious. We've gotten 6 standing ovations. It's been phenomenal. The response has been almost overwhelming. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Must be a really gratifying feeling after putting that kind of work into it.
Extremely gratifying. And I think one of the important parts of the play is the fact that it deals in the level of mental health issues. And mental health for so long has been stigmatized throughout our country and our nation. And so, I have the belief that we all have some kind of mental health issues from time to time. And so that was one of the important factors for me in doing this play, is to bring awareness to mental health issues, and consequently the profits that the producer receives, all those profits go to Sound Mental Health and are helping the people within our own community.
Right, and Steve, that must be gratifying for you to have the proceeds going to support your organization. What does that mean to you and to the group?
Well, the proceeds, of course, are much appreciated. Sound Mental Health is a nonprofit. We reach a lot of people, some of our most vulnerable, so any support we can get from the community is much appreciated. I think on a larger level, however, the work that Dwayne's done to elevate behavioral health issues in the community, I think, is just as important, because stigma breaking is really the best way for people in the community who are struggling or know someone who's struggling to reach across the aisle and help them, or they themselves seek support. That's
Tell me a little bit more about Sound Mental Health. What kind of things do you do?
Well, Sound Mental Health is King County's most comprehensive provider of behavioral health services. We have 14 locations, have about 80 programs, and those programs run the gambit. They support children and their families, people struggling with chemical dependency, military veterans, folks who are survivors of domestic violence, folks who are seeking short-term individual or group therapies, and many, many more programs.
In group therapy, you've obviously experienced a lot of things. Was there anything that stood out for you when you were in group therapy yourself?
Well, there's a lot of things that stand out. First of all, when you put 6, 7, 8, 10 men in a room, you all have some kind of outlandish story to tell. And I think that's what the play does, is you have 7 very different personalities that that come together and have both some very profound experiences and very hilarious experiences. There's one act in the play where the entire cast decides it's Talk Like a Pirate Day, and so they're going to talk like pirates. So I know we have some pirates in the audience.
Yes, we
so
do.
You'll have
We're
to go
always
see
happy
the
to have a
play.
pirate in
That's
the
right.
audience.
So there, I mean, it's gut-splitting humor, and but it shows this different side of people and how we can all transition in life.
Okay, and briefly, Steve, how can we help support what you do?
Well, Sound Mental Health, again, as a nonprofit, always appreciates people simply taking the time to talk about behavioral health issues. I think that's the most important thing. When people understand that it's rather normal, then they can then normalize the topic of behavioral health and discourse. As a nonprofit also, we always appreciate any sort of donations of time or money, of course, to help further the work of our programs.
Okay, thank you so much to both of you.
Thank you.
7 Ways to Get There runs through March 15th at ACT Theater. We've posted more information online about the play, the show times and tickets, as well as more about the services offered at Sound Mental Health. When we come back, a performance guaranteed to lift everyone's spirits. We'll meet incredible young singer-songwriter Caden Cashmere next.